Welcome back, everyone, to the VR League, brought to you by ESL here live in our Cologne studios. I'm once again Jason Kaplan, joined by Renee Butler, also known, I'm going to one day get that right, also known as G-Runner, and we'll be bringing you our second match of the day here in a few seconds. It's going to be Eminence up against BLT with Cheese. Not fair, because we're actually both extremely hungry in the studio right now. But before we get to that, we obviously want to take a look at some of the highlights from our last match, which was Ducks Quack up against Bounce, where Bounce did win the 2-0 victory. Thanks in chat for spoiling that for people. Appreciate that, guys. We are running a delay, obviously, on the stream. But yeah, so Bounce, the first match, the little bit we did catch of it, it seemed to be a very evenly matched between the two teams. And yet, when we went into, obviously, the second round, things changed quite a bit.
Yeah, on the first map, we had to go into overtime twice before we actually had a winner, which was Bounce. We didn't saw any bouncing discs into the goal, so that don't really work. Like, not for the backboard.
Not living up to their name, are they? Not living up to the name of Bounce, are they?
No, not really. But that's okay. I mean, they won, so I think they don't really care about that. But what we saw was actually a lot of problems on both sides to follow up their own passes and sometimes not being able to get any of the clearing shots into their position once again to either start the attack. Rift Ninja was the one that did the upside down move onto the ceiling, wasn't able to score at that moment. We also, this is map number 2, and map number 2 saw both teams being able to score without anyone in front of the goal not doing it.
I actually really liked, as we're seeing like on some of these plays, Tor and obviously Co, is the fake shots. The pretending to shoot, like faking it, fake shot, I guess the easiest way to explain it, just to throw off the defendant, throw off the goalie and get an easy shot, hopefully onto the goal.
That fake fadeaway.
Yeah, it's more of an aggressive fadeaway. It's not really even a fadeaway. It's more of like a kind of thing, and then like
it's just more like washing the window.
Oh, my shoulder hurts now for that.
Dislocated.
This is why I'm not in shape enough.
Yeah, that's why it's not doing VR esports, because physically you need to be on point.
I do VR weightlifting actually. That's my go-to, so I can at least pretend that I'm strong, because it's just not real.
Look at that, I'm a machine. I'm also doing VR weightlifting.
Do you not remember some of our previous shows we've done together and why I said I liked casting next to you, which is why I'm actually disappointed we're so far apart here today?
You always look massive.
You make me look hench.
Yeah,
you make me look very hench. All right, guys, we're getting into our second match of the day of 4. It's going to be Eminence up against a BLT with Cheese. And we'll let you know who's on what side in just a few seconds. We got Lone Gecko to Niles, Boop on the blue side. And orange team, we have Sinistar, Tharnvar, and Krajan.
Yeah, it's Eminence on orange. We have that on our screen already, which is great. So start on to map number 1. Currently, it's Eminence in possession of the disc. Great long pass there, but once again missing Cyanister there to pick up the pass. It's on back to BLT with Cheese. Quick clear. They might even be able to follow up. No, it's Eminence once again in position.
All right, well, you can see again getting punched in. And it looks like Tharnvar's been able to actually secure the disc. Again, looking for the clear, but a good little defense there, Lone Gecko. He might have a potential breakaway here. There's no one behind him. They're using daisy chain in front of him, and they get a perfect punch directly into him, allowing Tharnvar to secure the disc and get away.
Yeah, it was BLT starting off with that great steal, but obviously the punch from the side of Eminence, they saved them from that attack. Once again, great passing around the middle, not really close to the goal yet. There was a crossover, but once again, not being able to get it. Eminence also getting out the stun there to get in possession of the disc once again. A throw to clear out everything here. Christian able to follow it up. There's a stun right next to the goal, but once again, BLT having the disc, not allowing Eminence to even throw at the goal at all.
I like how Boop's taking his time here. Again, not rushing things, just trying to get it set up. Krajan is actually not really near them yet, but he's coming in. He's actually lurking from behind, which I'm assuming Boop's been able to spot out. He continues to push up with the disc. He gets the pass off, and there's Taniles able to get the shot on the goal and take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, quick pass right in front of the goal just to upset the goalie and make sure that he has to move, has to follow the disc right in front of the goal. So he can't just stay static and waiting for it. And then we saw him once again trying to go for the fake, go with all the way down there with his hand and throwing it from down under, basically.
If you compare like the way BLT just played that to the last match, Ducks Quack versus Bounce, there was a lot of disc clearing, a lot of throwing, a lot of aggressive, fast-paced play where BLT were more than happy to just sit back, play it slow, play, the game that they want to right there, and then use that to their advantage. Disc has already been picked up here for Boop. He goes for the long-range shot, Does get the ding off the side of the goal, but the teammate's going to be there to help him out. Boop again. Gets the juke on the first and gets the easy shot on the second. And again, now a 4-0 lead here for BLT.
Positioning from BLT is really, really good, but we also see them like when it's about 1-on-1s and he's going in front of the goalie, and then we see his movement. It's really, really good. It's quick. It looks planned. All of that looks way more planned than the first match we saw today, where positioning was a bit like slightly off, and that's why we saw so many people just passing the disc, not really getting it. But the passes from BLT so far, they're on point.
Yeah, and the thing is, they haven't even needed to. They've been very patient with their passes for the most part. Oh my God, they've actually gone straight into Tharnvar. They get an easy shot into the goal again. Just gets rushed down. It's a great use of the daisy chain just to launch each other close to him. You can see how quickly they transition across the map on the mini-map there. And luckily for us today, we do actually have their comms that we can listen into. We'll get to in a second once the round does start back up here. And we get to hear what's going on in the communication, because obviously pulling something off like that out of BLT, it takes a lot of communication. So let's take a listen in.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's
Good, 2-1 split, one high, they're bouncing it, Got it.
Intercepted.
It's gonna go high because they're all there. On you.
Blue clears
Again right. Again right. Okay, go for it. I'm crossing right, you're going left.
I'm going up.
He's out, your space.
Why the heck did you punch me?
See, just so calm. Communication is, there's no unnecessary talking. It's very patient, very calm, and they're up 9-0.
They're calling the plays, which is something we didn't really hurt during the first matchup today. And once again, their positioning was just on point. You heard them, that they were calling what happened. They called the position, they called who's going for the disc. And then his teammate was just waiting there under the goal, just at the right moment, catching that disc, getting it into the goal easy.
And they're also calling for the teammate who's carrying the disc, where they are around him, if you're clear to go, if there's one behind you, so he can actually focus on what's ahead of him. Again, the rush coming in out of Lone Gecko and Boop, and Niall's going to be sitting back, just playing the defensive position for his team. These two are doing such a great job of just daisy chaining off each other constantly to keep launching away, so they're just outmaneuvering their opponents. You can see that Eminence they don't have that teamwork, that level of teamwork down for them.
Yeah, but Canister once again with that great stopping off the disc in the opposing site. They might have another shot here. The goal from the back.
That was a great pass behind the goal to, I think, Sinister, but he wasn't able to actually get the shot off. I think he got punched.
They tried a lot with the backboard, tried to work with it and using it to score that goal. I mean, that's the fourth attack in a row, maybe even. They might be able to do it right now, right in front of the goal, but beautiful stolen by Lone Gecko there. And the clear onto the other side, across the whole arena. They might even be able to get close enough for that to then be in front of an empty goal. BLT Maul missing it once again against Frame. Not really scoring it immediately, but still in possession. So they might get another goal once again. Lone Gecko. Same pass we saw in the previous goals from BLT, and now from the back they're scoring. It just really looks like they're in total control of positioning in front of the enemy goal.
You look at Lone Gecko and Boop, and I just, I say watch the minimap. That's all you need to look at, because they were the first ones there. The disc got cleared to the Eminence side, and they were able to easily outmaneuver their opponents. Again, that's so important, being able to daisy chain across the map. They did a fantastic job of that, and those two in particular have been constantly doing that throughout the entire round so far. And Niall's been more than happy just to play that kind of anchor for the team, sit back in case the disc does get a crazy wonky bounce and does get back onto their side of the field.
Yeah, Lone Gecko seems to be one of the strongest scorers so far. We saw that he scored 4 already, 1 stun, 1 steal. So it's really doing everything he can to get his team. But BLT once again in position. They try to go for the long shot because they know they got it. It's 11-0. I mean, they can easily take the risk, and they're even scoring another one, 30-0 in favor of BLT. But we saw that they were in control of the disc. They were the first ones to enter enemy space. So they could just easily go for a long throw. Even if they miss, hey, who cares? They might even get the disc back.
Yeah, I mean, hoping that Eminence, who hasn't scored the first 4 minutes of time, assuming that they could take 14 points off of you in the next minute is pretty much not really possible if we were to really think about it and really kind of wager how this match has gone so far. Again, just watch the minimap here. Got the disc on the Eminence side, so they will have initial control, but let's see if they do get super aggressive again. Already past the halfway point, trying to go for the contest right away, and they actually do flop their, I think, initial momentum there. Or either way, it was a good clear by Eminence. And the shot there was wide open in the goal. That's what I call a J-cap shot, missing easy shots that almost certainly should have been points on the board.
Yeah, that should have been a goal for Eminence, but they're still trying to get numbers on the board for them. But even with the backboard working for them, it does not really happen. Now BLT onto the other side. I think there's no one. He's once again trying that long shot, long throw from the middle of the map that did not really work. Trying it again, missing it again. It's still 13-0 for them, so it's not much to worry about, even if Eminence is now in possession of the disc. Hopefully they can do at least one play. I want to see them scoring a goal with great positioning so far, but it seems that will not happen in the last 5 seconds.
Yeah, no way. Again, go for the clear. And I think Eminence already realized that one's over too. So BLT will take the first round in the match. Honestly, well-deserved and looking very dominant. Again, the question for us is BLT this good, or is Eminence just not close to their level? And I want to assume it may be, actually it's definitely going to be a little bit of column A and column B, because we have not seen a team yet maneuver like the way BLT have been able to. They've been able to, our Lone Gecko and Boop have been able to just like literally work together as a 2-man squad and let Denials be off by his own to just kind of sit back and play the defensive role for the team. And yet he kind of acts like the quarterback at the same time, where he'll take the disc, he'll move up slowly, not rushing it when they don't need to, pull defenders to him, get the pass off for someone else to score.
They called the right moves, they called the right situations, so that worked. So I would say their skill level is high.
Yeah, definitely.
Compared to Eminence, I mean, we didn't really saw them playing at all because BLT was always in possession
That's a very good point. We didn't really get to see Eminence play yet.
It is kind of sad. I mean, we didn't listen too much into their communication, so is it the call-outs? Are they not, like, is everyone just aware of himself but not of the team? Because that is an important factor. I need to know, is there someone behind me, or do I always need to, like, you know, look around in VR, checking if there's someone on my back, so they're not doing a clear throw without even being like close to any threat. So that seems to be really spot on the side of BLT with what we heard from communication so far. And the positioning for passes was superb. They're not really missing their teammates. They're not just throwing the disc around.
Yeah. They have, I think, that clear line of communication to say, or at least, you know, the experience of playing with each other to know, is he going to anchor on the wall there, or is he going to continue moving along? So should I, you know, lead the pass or throw it directly to where he is? And I think maybe like one pass they maybe missed. I think if anything, you know, some of the shots they were shooting for, the long shots, were just straight cockiness. Like they didn't really need to go for them, and then yet they still missed them. So, you know, jokes on them, kind of thing. But either way, loading into our second round here, it's gonna be BLT on the blue again, and Eminence on the orange. And so far, it's a 1-0 lead for BLT.
Here, they're boosting now. They're coming from.
Would be interesting to know if T. Niles is the one that does the call-outs, because he got the most relaxed position in the back as long as they're on attack. So he could be their commander, basically, sitting there just telling them what to do. So that was trying to get rid of the disc on the Eminence side once again. Wow, across the map, still BLT in possession from the backboard. Unfortunately, missed the goal there, but they're once again in position. They're just so quick in grabbing the disc, getting close, and then around the goalie, they had you see the whole BLT team around the goalie. That is in a position you don't want to be in as goalie.
And then you get punched.
Enemies everywhere.
Yeah, and you get punched, you get stunned. You got to depend if you're Eminence on your teammates to clear them off you, to turn it into a one-on-one, if anything, because you have to worry about their attackers stunning your goalie. And then if he's stunned, well, then you'll have a 14-0 scoreline like we had last match.
Yeah, once again, the lead for BLT. Eminence didn't really have an attack at all. Some clearing shots, but that's everything they tried so far.
Look how fast. Just watch the minimap. Every time Lone Gecko and Boop are across the halfway point before any of the attackers of Eminence have made it through the first third. It's insane. But there we go. Finally, Cryogen gets a first score on the board for them. Not going to be a shutout again today.
We saw the downside of that tactics of really launching your guys that fast into the enemy space.
Yeah.
Because they missed the disc, and then it was just 3 or 2 versus 1, because there was only Niles back on the side of BLT, because his teammates were basically flat against the wall on the other side, like, you know, bees and flies on your windshield driving through the Autobahn. So that is the risk of taking that, but so far it was okay for BLT. And we'll see if they change tactics now. And look at that. They tried, like they had obviously the disc on their side, which was a bit easier. Great passing once again, right in front of the goal, using the backboard, just knowing exactly where to throw the disc to get it in direction of the goal and turn it into another goal.
You know, I'll take a line from other games that I've casted, but that's just simple geometry. Not sure if you'll get that one or if many people in chat will, but hey, there's definitely a game out there that's a famous line from.
Yeah, but mathematics was never really my thing, so might be the reason why I'm not that good at the game.
Well, we always have time to improve. We can get on these guys' level one day, I think. We'll
Until
start
the
our own
final,
ESL
and then we
team.
play live on the stage. That's
Yeah,
what
of
we're
course,
doing.
that's true. All right, so the disc again being cleared across the map. You can see Boop and Lone Gecko this time going to be daisy chain themselves to secure the disc. Look at this, so they're literally just sticking together and using each other constantly to get around the map and outmaneuver their opponents. Going to be sitting over towards the tunnels, gets the pass around the enemy. On that
They were
defender.
waiting for the attack of Eminence to then pass the disc onto the next one, so there's enough space for him to maneuver around. And then once again, it's that 1v1 that they're really good at, and moving this around their own body, scoring and getting this up to 2-7.
Yeah, still really fast-paced goals out of BLT and Eminence. I wish we could take a look at like their stuns, because I feel like they're just not stunning enough. And that might not be, that might actually be due to a couple of factors. It might be due to them just not hitting their opponents, but also might due to them not being able to catch their opponents. Again, Lone Gecko and Boop, number 10 and 90, have just been constantly getting around extremely fast. Again, past the halfway point before the enemies even get through that first third, but they've overcommitted. Luckily, the Boop's gonna, or sorry, actually Niall's gonna be there to defend, pick up the disc, and get that forward pass.
Besides that one attack by Eminence, we didn't saw much of the orange team yet in terms of attacking the enemy goal. That was one of the few passes that BLT missed so far.
Could have been intentional, maybe. I'm gonna
You
say it's
never know.
intentional with how good BLT's looked.
Oh,
But again,
beautifully done. 3 passes right in front of the goal and then across the goal to score. Wow, that was really good.
it's good ball movement. Or disc movement, I guess we should call it. Ball movement in basketball. There's a lot of like, you know, sports you can kind of compare this to in situations like, for instance, there, like the ball handling of the team. Really good job to throw the disc around. Again, constantly keep the defenders, you know, off their feet. Really unstable. And they just have this set path. You can see the denials. He's gonna be the one leading the push through. Launches everyone forward, and just again, watch the minimap here. Everyone just focus on the minimap. Watch how quickly number 10 and 90 get across. Straight into the first guy that had the actual.
But look at
disc.
how quick they are going back to their own side. That's the really important part. They missed it. They didn't get the disc. That's fine. Launch them back into their own side. Once again in position off the disc, because they have their teammates always around them. Lone Gecko now looking for a pass, long pass onto the other side, with Boop waiting there, dancing around the opponent there.
So Cryogen's been constantly stunned. Like, he's been stunned and used to just boost off of for the team of BLT. And again, the score's gonna come in from behind the goal. I mean, I was just watching him on the minimap below, and I think it was like Niles went up to him, punched him, launched off him, and then I think Boop came in, punched him, launched off of him, and he was out of the fight the entire time. There was no chance they could have an even fight towards the goals. So again, really well done by BLT, and a good use of that stun mechanic.
I mean, stun gives them room to work around with the disc or even do the passing, but we also see way more passing than on the previous match of Ducks Quack versus Bounce. And it's also not that stationary. They're really passing into the flying path, basically.
Oh, it's gonna take a wonky bounce off the island. Niles again gonna get it. See number 21, that's gonna be Sciencer. Gonna be held back, and again, Tharnvar, he's not there to help out. He's not really there to help defend this, and there was no one even in the goal. Now BLT gonna take a 14-2 lead with still almost half the time left in the round.
That might be a very hard match for Eminence there. I mean, 14 already. They scored 1 so far, and I don't see them having much chances to score anymore. Like, if BLT keeps that up, like, the passing is good. They're super quick to move around the arena and get back on their side if they need to, getting onto the opponent if they wish to do so. So they're in total control, especially when it's about movement. See them launching off for the joust once again. See that they're just stopping mid-air, basically.
Yeah,
they
on
get
the
an objective,
islands.
and then they turn around to make sure that their goalie, Tinals, is not alone in case Eminence actually gets the disc.
There we go. We saw Cryogen and Sinister actually use each other to daisy chain to get back defensively. So finally we get to see some life in the Eminence side. Both these teams are actually 1-0 at the moment, since we are using the Swiss system to determine these matches. So it's winner v winner in this set. And so far BLT has definitely hammered home who's the dominating team in this series.
Yeah, this looks like a 2-0 in terms of the overall series in this BO3 in favor of BLT. I mean, I tried to to get the caster curse going on, like jinx this and get Eminence back in the game, but I think that might be too much to ask for.
Well, moving into the launch yet again. Again, you see the disc on the Eminence side, but you can imagine that Lone Gecko and Boop are going to come flying across, maybe go for the halt in towards middle. They've actually stopped being as aggressive, and they're using that middle island as like a jumping off point to see, all right, where's the disc going? Let's make that jump happen, and let's get directly into the path. Honestly, I think if you're Eminence, stop playing so fast, just chill. Literally keep your defenders on your side of the map here, and then use that over-aggressive play style to BLT to your advantage. Then again, I'm not an expert player. I'm just showing you from my experience of games in general.
Easy.
It sounds so simple, right? Well, here we go again. Big skirmish breaking off towards the goal. Again, in the hands of BLT. Boop does get it and does get the easy shot actually from really not that far away, but the defenders were hot behind the goal. Not really unfortunate for them. He's actually riding at it. I mean, at least he's having fun, right? That's all that matters.
Well, we see that reaction of BLT is way quicker than on the side of Eminence. Like when you see them turning around when they need to change directions or when they need to react to disc movement, they're just so quick in doing this. And see, Eminence is just one step behind that. They're always trailing. They're always trying to react to BLT, and BLT is just one step ahead.
All right, let's actually, maybe we should take a listen in again with the comms going on. Maybe we can hear what's going on, because again, we've already heard BLT being so strong, but Eminence, is there even communication anymore at this rate?
No, you have time now.
I'm gonna cut
All on this side, all on my side. Deep left, the goal is open. Goal is open for a little bit.
Yeah.
Goal is open for a little bit.
Oh, I couldn't get it. Oh, I literally.
Okay, left.
I don't know where I am. I can't do this.
Okay.
I don't want to hit anything.
I'm low. One thing.
Let me check my surroundings.
Let me check my surroundings. And he gets the goal either way.
You remember Stronghold?
What happened, man?
The game?
No.
That's basically what it was. Like both built, like one building up the defensive line, one building up the offensive line, a bit like football, and then like American football, just waiting for whatever happens.
I like how he checked his surroundings, being very smart, just to make sure he can go for that play. And again, like I think it's Niles. He's sitting back and actually like kind of the not the orchestra, the what's the guy? What's this guy's name that controls the orchestra that like does the hand movements with the sticks? What's his
I'm
name?
not native English, so I don't know.
What? Give me the German name. Sits in front of an orchestra. The conductor. The conductor.
Is that
acting
the
as
word?
like the conductor.
Dirigent. Yeah, there
Okay,
we go.
there you go. That's the
Production
German word.
saved me.
The conductor for the team and telling them like where it's safe, where to go, and then he makes his pounce, his attack happen once he knows he can get aggressive. But he's sitting back. He's being that mind for the team.
Field
Oh, that was a
commander.
punch. Oh, he went straight in, he got the punch. He also has the potential for the goal here. Great pass off yet again here. Again, they're going to score another time. BLT.
You saw that layup, basically. It was like watching basketball for the alley-oop. He was just floating under the goal, giving it up a high, and waiting for his teammate to fly on in and then score the goal.
BLT, remember, Eminence do have families. You don't need to shut them out this hard. But I mean, 8 seconds left. That's going to be it, right? I mean, it's going to be BLT taking the round, taking the match, putting themselves up to 2-0 now. Will it be tied up against Aftershock, who's currently 2-0 as well from their first initial matches? And unfortunately, Eminence will go 1-1, but they're not out just yet. Actually, they might be out now. Since it's just Swiss system, I believe it's going to be only the #1 team that gets through. But there we go. So that will be the end of our match. And I believe we're going to have a quick little talk here about how that match went again, looking at BLT, and then we'll be heading to something interesting after that. We'll tell you about it in a second. But BLT, again, I love the teamwork. Like the 2 men, it was technically 3-man teamwork, right? But the 2 men working together, a Boop and Lone Gecko, to just zip around the map. Like they were unmatched in speed, they were unmatched in coordination by Eminence, and then having Niles just sit back and be the conductor of this train, this train who went straight past the station into their 2-0 victory.
I thought about, could there be one of mistakes and flaws in BLT that Eminence could use to actually turn this match around? But even ball handling like disc handling in this case, was on point
Yeah.
for BLT. We saw them winning the 1v1s in front of the goal. We saw them not really losing any passes. They were not false passing, not at all, because positioning was great. And that was all down to communication. So communication is the key. We know it's a key even on normal soccer, and that's basically 2D.
You don't have to say soccer for me. It's okay.
You
But it's just
okay
probably a
with
lot of
you know,
English-speaking viewers, so maybe.
It is basically 2D because you're just running around that field. That's it. And Ekarina is 3D. There's more to it than just a normal.
a whole other dimension.
Yeah, it is a lot you add to the game.
Sorry.
So communication is more important,
Yeah.
and BLT showed how good they are when it comes to that. And it seems like they're also very good in understanding what the call means, because we didn't hear them talking too much. They were just like, oh, we do the split, go underneath. That's it. Like
I wonder-
everyone knew what to do. That's
I wonder
it.
if they're that calm, though, when they're against a tougher opponent, or at least an opponent can kind of match them in movement speed and control of the ball, or the disc, sorry. But guys, we do have to head to a break. We're going to be shutting the stream off for a quick second, just to fix a couple of technical issues, and hopefully when we come back, everything will be sorted. But we will be heading to that break, and when we come back, it will be our third series of the night. We'll see you guys soon.